Hello viewers, you're welcome once again to another interesting program on iDEA TV, the newspaper review. I am Gabriel Matthew Sheriki, and today we'll be taking a look at what the newspaper has for us today, being the 3rd of Wednesday of Wednesday 2026 February. All right, we'll quick take a look at what the Guardian is saying, and the Punch, also not forgetting the Daily Sun, and also the New Telegraph and the Tribune. So much more newspaper packed we have for you today. All right, a quick look at what the Guardian is leading with the storyline today, being the 3rd of February. All right, on the front page of the Guardian this morning, we brought to you that Senate delays stars electoral reforms as group warns of risks to democracy. Senate delays stars electoral reforms as group warns of risks to democracy. Then on the up page, we also see that on page 3, no retreat on reform, Tinubu tells World Bank. No retreat on reforms, Tinubu tells World Bank. And on page 3, still on the Guardian, U.S. military sends team as a bandit kills over 25 in Castina. Then on page 6, we have PDP crisis deepens as WIZKID-backed factions dissolve structure, marking this ones against a hijack. And I think on the front page there, the main page, we have the Tantina Security Service Group Limited. I mean, wishing a happy birthday to his sons there. All right, that's a good one there. Then let's quickly look at the front page. Most of the reasons why the start electoral reform as a group wants of risk to democracy. We have, all right, on the front line here, we have, it undermines public trust and confidence. I mean, these are the major reasons why the Senate are delaying the start electoral reform. I mean, expert and civil society group urges that delaying key electoral reform fuels public distrust in the integrity of election. And we also have it jeopardizes credibility of future election. It jeopardizes credibility of future elections. I mean, we also have it hampers institutional preparedness. It hampers institutional preparedness. I mean, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, need a clear updated legal framework. All right. We also have it leaves loopholes in the law undressed. I mean, these are the major reasons why the Senate are delaying the electoral style reform. All right. Let's quickly move to the next paper and see what the paper is saying there. Let's look at Punch. That's what we have for you today. On the front page of Punch, we brought to you that electricity, all right, electricity subsidy, federal government to deduct 3.6 trillion naira from federation account. Electricity subsidy, federal government to deduct 3.6 trillion from electoral federational account. Then we also have on the front page there, on page 2, genocide accusation. U.S. Congress panel hold new section on Nigeria today. Then we also have on page 43, still on the Punch, NPO to Tinubu regulate foreign platform or lose Nigerian media. Then on page 2, still on the front page of the Punch, where we have PDP governors resist WIZKID's block move to dismantle committee. Conventional shutdown, PDP governors resist WIZKID block move to dismantle committee. Then on the front page, where we brought to you that on page 2, electricity subsidy, federal government to deduct 3.6 trillion naira from federation account as federal government begins sharing of power subsidy burden with state, local government, 1.2 trillion to be deducted yearly. A quick look at the major reasons why the federal government is deducting 3.6 trillion from federation account. All right, what we have here is it explicitly fund electricity subsidy. It explicitly fund electricity subsidy. I mean, the deduction is part of a new framework outlined in the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy. All right, these are most of the reasons why the federal government is trying to deduct 3.6 trillion from a federation account. We also have to make subsidy cost transparent and sustainable. I mean, historically, electricity subsidies were funded indirectly through the federation account budget, leading to hidden liabilities and accumulated unpaid debt. All right. Then we also have to share the subsidy burdens more fairly. So on and so forth. All right, these are the major reasons why the electricity subsidy, the federal government had to deduct 3.6 trillion from a federation account. So if a quick look at what the paper is saying there, you can quick get the paper to know the more reasons why the federal government had to deduct 3.6 trillion from federation account. All right, let's take a look at what the Daily Sun has for us today. All right, on the Daily Sun, on the front page, we have vagabonds in PDP gone, says Makinde. WIZKID camps dissolve Northwest, Southwest ESCOs. It says vagabond in PDP gone, says Makinde. WIZKID camp dissolved, Northwest, Southwest ESCOs. Then we also have on the front page there, on page 28, Nigerians will not reverse economic reform, Tinubu tells World Bank. Nigerians will not reverse economic reform, Tinubu tells World Bank. We also have, still on the front page, 120 million fuel import bill choking African federal government, backs Dangote to capture 20% of market. 120 billion fuel import bill choking Africa federal government, back Dangote to capture 20% of market. Then on the down page, still on the Daily Sun, we have on page 5 and 6, 10.6 million Nigerian hooked on drug, says by Mawa. 10.6 million Nigerian hooked on drugs, says by Mawa. Customs arrest 8 suspected with hard drugs, other worth 319 billion naira. Custom arrests 8 suspects with hard drugs, others worth 319 billion naira. Coming in the case of custom that has to arrest 8 suspects and such a huge amount of billions of naira. Then quickly moving to page 25, still on the Daily Trust. Tax reform, hard spike, businesses costs, stall Nigerian judiciary expansion, says by NESG. Coming in there on page 25, still on the Daily Sun. Then on page 26, Lassa fever outbreak, Benue record, 56 suspected cases. Lassa fever outbreak, Benue record, says 56 suspected cases. All right. Then on page 27, on still the Daily Sun, Federal Capital Territory workers suspend strike as labor WIZKID reached agreement. All right, Federal FCT workers suspend strike as labor WIZKID reached agreement. All right, a quick look at this paper. All right, let's quickly go on a quick break. Now, when we come back, we'll continue from what the papers are saying. Stay tuned. Please don't go anywhere.
A core part of operations. Number 6, digital twins for cities and industries. Digital twins, real-time virtual replicas of physical systems, are expanding fast. Singapore has already built a national digital twin to simulate urban planning, monitor traffic, and manage energy use. In manufacturing, companies like Siemens and GE use digital twins to model factories and machines, cutting downtime and improving efficiency. During the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, organizers tested digital twin technology to manage crowd flow and logistics. Analysts at Deloitte predict that by 2026, nearly 70% of large industrial companies will use digital twins in some form, making them a core part of operations. Number 3, sustainable tech and green computing. With data centers now consuming around 1 to 1.5% of the world's electricity, efficiency has become critical. Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are racing to power their data centers with renewable energy, while chip makers like NVIDIA and AMD are optimizing for performance per watt. Carbon capture startups are using AI to scale up efficiency, and researchers are designing fully recyclable electronics. In 2024, Microsoft announced it had achieved 100% renewable energy coverage for its global operations. By 2026, green computing will no longer be optional. It'll be baked into how the tech industry operates. Number 6, 6G networks and beyond. 5G is still rolling out worldwide, but work on 6G is already in motion. South Korea, Japan, and Finland are leading trials, with commercial deployment expected around 2030. 6G aims to use terahertz frequencies to deliver speeds up to 100 times faster than 5G and latency as low as 100 microseconds. That's fast enough to support real-time holograms, autonomous fleets, and massive IoT ecosystems. The ITU has begun setting 6G standards, while companies like Nokia and Samsung are actively developing hardware. By 2026, early 6G pilots will give us a glimpse of the post-5G world. Number
Right, we are glad to have you back, and thank you for staying tuned. This is the IDEA TV, the newspaper review. Will bring you the trending stories in politics, entertainment, and in health. And gladly in the house, we have the in-house analyst that just joined us today in the person of Mr. Chris Ijofo. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you, sir. I like your cap, sir. You're looking gorgeous. Looking good,
I love
sir.
your appearance too.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, we'll quickly take a look at the New Telegraph. That is where we are before you quickly came in. All right, on the front page of the New Telegraph, on page 4, we brought to you that 79 Nigerians, other African on criminal list, face deportation. I mean, U.S. immigration crackdown, 79 Nigerians, other Africans on a criminal list, face deportation. Then on the front page, still under the New Telegraph, we will have Energy Summit, Nigerian stand with African global partners to deliver and secure affordable energy, sustainable. Let me take it again. I mean, Energy Summit, Nigerian stand with African global partners to deliver secure, affordable energy by Tinubu. All right, coming in from Tinubu there. We also have on page 6, reps begin probe of ancestry operating airport, seaport, and terminal. Reps begin probes of a concessionary operating airport, seaport, and terminal. Then we also have DSS, arraign Malami Son on terrorism, financing framework, and possession. Then on page 4, still on the New Telegraph this morning, Clinton agrees to testify in a House Ephraim probe before contempt of a Congress vote. I mean, coming in from Clinton there. All right, then a quick one. On the front page, we can see, it says, Lawal, I accept New Telegraph award. I mean, wholeheartedly, coming in from the Telegraph award, awarding Lawal there. Then award motivations to attain greater heights, NEDO, I mean, uphold. I mean, coming in from the New Telegraph award there. Then a quick one. Before we continue, let's know why most of the 79 Nigerians on the front page, we can see that U.S. immigration crackdown, 79 Nigerians, other Africans on a criminal list, I mean, face deportation. I mean, we all know that why most of these Africans are facing criminal deportation because of criminal convictions, I mean, on a serious offense, such as fraud, violence crimes, and drug trafficking. And we also have violating of immigration rules. I mean, what do you think on this?
You know that right from the time President Trump came in, right from it was part of his mantra when he was campaigning that he's going to deport all illegal immigrants. And even by birth, he mentioned it, and that is what he's trying to play out since he came to power. So the problem is that Africans have been, not just Africans, most immigrants are people who are causing problems in America. Right? When it comes to drug addict and trafficking, and they were all mapped out.
Yes.
So what he's doing now is part of his promise when he was coming to power. So the only thing is that people should be able to, when you're in America, you tend to comport yourself and follow the rules of that country, not just violating areas of that's against the interest of the
country.
So it's all what that is playing out. I think we are going to see more of it in the days to come, because Trump is just barely half of the first tenure, and more of this are going to come. So the only thing for the immigrants is to make sure that those who escape such deportation find to live by the rules of the country. So that's it.
All right, talking about national security consideration. I mean, do you think what Trump is doing is actually right? I mean, considering the national security consideration. I mean, how these things has played, I mean, in the past, and how some blacks has really suffered deportation, and other African countries that some, if you don't, you need to check most of their portfolios to really know what is the major reasons why most of these things are happening. Then we also have final court orders to remove orders, issue judges on immigration tribunals. All right, so these are most of the reasons, I mean, why our 79 Nigerians and other African countries face deportation because of the criminality and some perpetrating and other things that shouldn't be. All right, so quickly grab the paper on that to see what it explain more, just like Mr. Chris here I highlighted. All right, on page 2, still on the New Telegraph this morning, we have insecurity. Kogi Short schools across state says it's a preventive measure. I mean, insecurity, Kogi shut down school across states, says it's preventive measure. All right, then we also have bandits killed soldiers, 5 residents in Plateau attack U.S. military team sent to Nigeria after recent attack. All right, see coming in from the case of insurgency there. I mean, we also have on page 5, on page 2 and 5, 2027, we won't hold PDP for another part to be in power, says Makinde. All right, then we also have WIZKID's function, pledge transparency, transparent, inclusive convention. I mean, these are most of the trending stories that were brought across your way today on the New Telegraph, coming in from the New Telegraph, today being the 3rd of February, 2026. I mean, all right, let's quickly take a look at what the next paper is saying and leading in the front story today. All right, on the Tribune. On the first page of the Tribune, we have PDP crisis, Makinde fires another shot. PDP crisis, Makinde fires another shot. We won't allow anyone to hold PDP down by declare. We also have Abdurrahman led cap, fixed March 29 to 30th as new convention date. We also have party's management, staff, workers insult, declare loyalty to Turaki-led NWC. All right, we also have on page 5, Nigerian gain against dollar closed at 1.329.91 US dollars. Then we also have terrorism financing. Federal government arraigned Malami's son on 5 counts charge. That is coming on page 2, still on the Tribune. We also have on page 6, still on the Tribune, UBA Group announced Lokna Mishra as CEO, UBA UK. All right, UBA Group announces Lokma Mishra as a CEO, UBA UK. All right, then on the front page on the Tribune, where we have PDP crisis, Makinde fires another shot. We all know the crisis going between the Makinde in PDP crisis. I mean, most of the major reasons why it's really firing shots. We have he's pushing back against WIZKID's influence in the party. I mean, we all know that Makinde has publicly criticized the faction led by WIZKID, accusing it of trying to undermine the party unity and strength. I mean, we also have, he says he has repented from past alliances and now oppose what he sees as a destructive tactics. I mean, this is still most of the reasons why Makinde has been firing shots in PDP crisis. And we also have his defending organizational control ahead of the key decisions. All right, a quick look on that to see most of the reasons why Makinde has to fire shot. I mean,
let me digress a little. The case of Makinde leading the more or less, I would say, the real faction of the PDP as against Wike. Wike is working against the party that threw him to light as the PDP. He came from PDP, from councillor to deputy governor,
yes,
then to governor, and now minister of
the state, FCT,
under a different party entirely.
Yes.
So in leading a faction as against the interest of his main party, it's not why, because what he's doing is more or less is destroying the
Yes.
party that built him up. So that's the thing. You cannot fight the hand that feeds you.
That feeds you.
It's quite unfortunate that Wike is still going that far. I think if he decide to work for the party in power, so be it. But then don't destroy the part that throw you to light.
That throw you to light. I mean,
that's the thing. So, it's quite unfortunate that this issue is going on. You should have worked for the APC and then remain there without interfering in PDP affairs. So I can see what Makinde is doing. Makinde is trying to rebuild PDP. But then the damage is done. The rate of damage in PDP now. That's the main opposition party in Nigeria now so far. But it's going underground because of this issue of in-house problem.
In-house problem.
Between Makinde. No, Makinde is a builder more or less. But Wike, I can't say Wike is a builder because he is now fighting the party that pulls him up. So it's quite unfortunate. I think he has to think twice.
You're right, because you can see the whole thing going between APC and PDP.
yes.
I mean, the crisis between Wike and also at time Fubara and Makinde coming in now to say this, that firing shots seriously on PDP. All right, these are most.
Sorry, let me come in. But you know that, for example, there's a latest settlement that the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu just came back from, I think, Rivers about a few days ago. To put the issue to order. But then problem now is that the formerly suspended the governor, this is Fubara.
Fubara, yes.
Yes, he stepped in and asked Fubara and allowed Wike to control the structure of PDP. In the former Yoruba State. But Fubara has decount to APC now. So
yes, it's in APC
he still allowed Wike to control the structure of River State, which is now APC.
Yes, which is now APC.
So it's now APC.
Against
Wike
PDP
himself is still PDP.
Yes.
It's PDP, so that's a problem.
But don't you think there's a serious problem between Wike, as in, I believe Wike does not have a particular stand when it comes to this now. Let me use that word.
Okay.
But what do you think as Wike is? Can he really control PDP? Knowing that it's already in Rivers, can he really control PDP in Rivers?
You understand that the local government election that was done under the former acting governor, the Navy commander.
Yes.
Acting governor. Out of the about 26 local government.
Yes, 26 local government, yes.
We can make sure that about 23 of the councillors came to him. You understand? So
the whole confusion there.
So he has more than 2/3 of the house for him.
Wow.
You understand? So now he's the company to APC. Now he ask them to go and camp for the APC now. So all they are moved to APC. As against only 3 working for Fubara. So he still controls the structure. But Fubara, because he was reinstated, wanted to make sure he took over the structure of entire. You understand? Which okay, saying no, that he is the owner of the River State.
Wow.
You understand?
I mean, the whole tussle there is such a whole tussle there.
Yes.
All right. We have to look at that and we can see that there's so much tussle in the air there in River State and Makinde firing shots on PDP. All right, let's quickly look at what Daily Trust is leading with the trending stories today. Then on the front page of the Daily Trust today being the third, we have hospital bills worse than cancer, patient lament. All right, hospital bill worse than cancer as a patient lament. Then we also have pictures of people quenching offering fire there, like demonstration of NYC corps there in Jigawa, Nasarawa, Gombe, and we have a community celebrate release of abducted bandit leader. Community celebrate release of abducted bandit leader. I mean, this is such a bad one. I mean, you keep hearing most of these stories at times is somehow confusing and is somehow not interesting to the ear. I mean, how can community be celebrating the release of an abducted bandit leader? All right, quickly grab a paper on that. Then on page 30, still on the Daily Trust, we have ICPC detain ex-Nimasa boss Jimo. ICPC detain ex-Nimasa boss Jimo. Then we also have on page C, still on the Daily Trust, the down page, where we have NECO 9.16 candidates engaged in malpractices. NECO 9.16 candidates engaged in malpractices. Then we also have on page 37, still on the Daily Trust, where we have drivers missing as Boko Haram intercept truck in Borno. Driver missing as Boko Haram intercept truck in Borno. I mean, these are still most of the stories. Then quickly moving up, all right, I think on the where we are having on the front page, still on the Daily Trust, where we have hospital bill was as a cancer worsen. Says by patient lamenting there. We all know that the financial burdens of medical care adds another life-threatening changes. I mean, all right, keep looking at the hospital bill that worsen than cancer patient lament. Mr. Chris, what do you think, like on this issue?
When they say hospital bill worse than cancer, lament by patients, let's say as citizens anyway, it all tells you that, you see, the citizens it has come to a stage that because of the level of economic implication when it comes to medical treatment in Nigeria has gone so high, and so that people will no longer be able to pay their bills medically. And as such, you can say cancer. Cancer, at least you know that cancer, you have medication for cancer.
Yes.
But when it comes to paying hospital bills, you hear of women who went there to deliver. At the end of the day, they lost their child, they lost the woman because they couldn't pay. Either their spouses couldn't pay or their distant family couldn't pay. So it all means that the issue of Medicare in this country has gone up. That I think the government has to do something.
I mean,
yes.
sorry, like Mr. Chris, what do you think? Like, I mean, some hospital, don't you think there should be a policy that guide most of these hospitals that are demanding an upfront payment before treatment of a citizen?
Yeah,
I mean, when the case is very critical and it's very, very dangerous. What do you think?
Yes, exactly. Because we had cases of people. Okay, for example, this lady Nena that just died, the musician that died due to snake bite. In her son, she was taken to the first hospital, and she drove herself from motherland for the sister. She drove herself to the hospital somewhere around here. It's a Trademore. She drove herself to the hospital. They said there's no drugs for venom in her son.
No drug for venom?
Yes, that they don't have it. Then they moved to the next hospital. She was still talking. She was still discussing with her sister live in her son that she's now moving to the next hospital, somewhere where she was referred to. There, instead of looking for anti-venom drugs. They put her on drip.
I mean, that is the misconjection of the whole thing, because there should be a particular drug allocated for a particular
illness. It's much of
and it weakens the pain and amplify the pain.
And the first, what I'm learning now is because she tied that position where she was bitten by the snake. She tied it to avoid movement of the poison. Which is normal thing. Even in scorpion, they do that. Then she tied that position, but the hospital losing that.
You shouldn't have lost.
They're losing that while putting her on that drip. So at the end of the day, according to the sister, what they were discussing is that her voice started trembling.
As the venom has eaten into her body system.
So it all boils down to what I'm talking about, the issue of medication in this country. That there's a shortage of medicine. Where government should have come in to subsidize major drugs in hospitals. And designated some hospitals for certain type of illness. So when you are sick, you know where to go, like in overseas. When you are sick, you have a particular
there's a particular treatment allocated for that. I think Nigeria needs to really wake up. I mean, to come to that extent in which there should be a governmental policy that governs that at least if you're a citizen, I mean, since you already licensed for one or two things, there should be a way that if you reach some certain stage, let's say age, you'll be okay. Like if you're sick, there should be health care for you, not just propaganda issues and utterances. At the end of the day, when you get there, you don't do the right thing. All right, I mean, this is so disheartening. It's so disheartening.
Understand?
So disheartening.
At a certain age.
I mean, you see some hospital, the bill is too much.
I mean, some old men lying down who cannot even afford the medical bills. They are lying down there. And these are things, you go to the Western world. At a certain age of
cheap.
50, you are dropped.
You're already on a life
on a free medication.
Free medication.
You understand? These are things we don't have. And okay, they reduce this thing for the average Nigerians. But now this problem is now such that we don't have it's either you are poor or you are rich. The middle class has been broken by such things. You understand? So when those things are happening, people should be able to afford the simplest thing of life, which is Medicare.
Medicare. I believe the citizens are not asking for much.
They're not asking for much. How much is it compared to what the government is spending? How much are they asking for? These are things, you see, you must subsidize Medicare, as it's done in some countries. It's not too much for Nigeria to do. If you subsidize Medicare, you see, any HIS is there, but are they really functioning? If you go now, it tells you 10% of your Medicare.
Now, that brings me back to the issue of tax. Now, most of the tax that the government is been deducting, and with the enacted one that just took place now, I mean, what are these tax reform? What are they being used for? Because I really want to know if is it used for another purposes? Because we have security, we have healthcare, and especially this healthcare issue is another worsening one that has really eaten deep. What do you think? Do you think this this tax reform can actually help in this area of hospital bills that's been worsened since by patient?
Previous tax reforms, before the main tax reforms, which is the PAIE, pay as you earn tax and the rest, which nearly every Nigerians are paying. All those reforms in tax, what have they? Where did the money go? Where is the money going?
Exactly.
Because definitely for you to tax someone, it must be somebody who is fully employed.
Exactly.
You don't tax someone who doesn't have a job.
Exactly.
You must go so that you plow back to the system that puts you there. That's the idea of tax reforms. But what we are seeing in this country is more or less is that they use it to make up the bills or you understand, the budget. You don't use tax to fund budget or capital budget. It's part of recurrent, putting back into the system to serve the people, which is not happening.
All right, Mr. Chris, let's not dwell on this much because if you continue on this today, I won't go. All right, still on the front page of still on the Daily Trust, I saw a story there down the page on page 10. It says community celebrates release of abducted bandit leader. I mean, community celebrates release of abducted bandit leader. When I read this, I was like, what is going on? Mr. Chris, what do you think about this?
The same community that are being victims of bandits are celebrating bandit leader.
And because we also have on page 30. You see, it says I just saw one just now. It says driver on page 37. It says driver missing as Boko Haram intercept truck. Okay, let's just leave this. I mean, this community celebrating release of the abducted bandit leader.
But it tells you one thing. What it tells you is that community bandits and terrorists have taken over some communities. So for them to celebrate the bandit leader, which means they are in charge of that community.
Automatically,
the state has lost position or sovereignty over that community. So it's like some communities are being taxed by bandits.
Yes.
Then when you celebrate them because they see them as a representative of their own government now. So that's what is happening. It shows that banditry has taken over some communities outside the state operators. As in, it's such.
Anyway, I think we don't have to do much on this because if we need to go through this today, I don't think it's just. All right, let's take a quick recap on most of the paper that we brought across your way today, being the 3rd of February 2026. All right, we brought to you that on the Guardian, Senate delays stalls electoral reform as group warns of risk to democracy. All right, they also brought to you on the Punch. On the Punch, electricity subsidy, federal government to deduct 3.6 trillion from federation account. Then as federal government begins sharing of power subsidy burdens with state, local government, 1.2 trillion naira to be deducted yearly. Then we also brought to you on the Daily Sun, leading on the Daily Sun, vagabonds in PDP gone, says by Makinde. I mean, vagabond in PDP gone, says by Makinde. We also have WIZKID camp dissolved, Northwest, Southwest East Coast. WIZKID camp dissolved, worse than cancer, as patient laments. Then on the last paper, the Vanguard, we brought to you that, all right, we were able to look at this Vanguard. Well, all right, on the first page of the Vanguard, we brought to you that PDP, Makinde, WIZKID's fight dirty. PDP, Makinde, I mean, we've just discussed that on the previous paper, on the tussle between PDP and Makinde having to fire shot on the WIZKID. All right, these are most of the trending papers that we brought across your way today on iDEA TV. All right, do wait to join us tomorrow at the same time, 8 p.m. every day. I still remain Gabriel Matthew Seriki, and I am with
Mr. Christopher Joffo.
Thank you for your time. Make sure you keep it a date with us tomorrow. Bye for now.